Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Nujum Al-Samma. Today is our lecture number 4, which is chapter 1, setting humanity on a sustainable course to the moon. In NASA official Artemis plan. Chapter 1, setting humanity on a sustainable course to the moon. The Artemis program builds on a half-century of experience and preparation to establish a robust human robotic presence on and around the moon. With clear direction from the White House, coordination among the re-established National Space Council, strong bipartisan support in Congress, and robust participation from industry and international partnerships, Artemis is a globally unifying endeavor. America will lead the monumental shift that frees humanity from our innate bonds to Earth. This is the decade in which the Artemis generation will teach us how to live on other worlds. The basis for a lunar architecture. NASA was ready for Space Policy Directive 1, the call from the President to return to the Moon and get ready for Mars, and was already prepared to offer architectural and hardware solutions to leverage the core deep space transportation systems, the SLS rocket, the Orion spacecraft, and the supporting exploration ground systems, EGS, to return humans to the Moon for the first time in more than 50 years. Through partnerships with U.S. industry, NASA was already developing 21st-century deep space habitation capabilities and investing in lunar lander technologies. Ongoing spacesuit upgrades have resulted in a lunar surface suit that affords more frequent spacewalks through improved safety features, custom fitting, simplified maintenance, and better communications. A cross-agency architecture team also had been formulating plans for a gateway orbiting the Moon. This plan garnered significant support from international partners and was reflected in the Global Exploration Roadmap as a collaborative effort that would open the space frontier for human exploration of the Moon, Mars and asteroids as we expand human exploration and commerce into deep space. In 2018, with support from the highest-level national decision-makers, NASA proposed a plan to return humans to the lunar surface by 2028. This plan included the gateway from which human landers could be deployed. There was strong international support for the orbiting lunar outpost, and International Space Station partners proposed additional capabilities they could contribute. The Gateway program advanced from formulation to program status in late 2018. NASA also established the Commercial Lunar Payload Services or CLPS initiative in 2018, encouraging the U.S. commercial space industry to introduce new lander technologies to deliver NASA and commercial payloads to the surface of the Moon. With 14 CLPS providers currently on contract and eligible to bid on payload deliveries to the Moon, NASA solicits bids from the companies as needed and awards surface task orders for lunar surface deliveries. The agency has already awarded multiple deliveries and assigned payloads to flights in 2021 as well as the first of 2 planned deliveries slated for 2022. A task order was awarded in June 2020 to Astrobotic of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to deliver NASA's Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration Rover or Viper in 2023. The agency plans to send science instruments and technology experiments to the surface at least twice per year on CLPS flights. NASA has already selected more than 24 instruments to study the Moon and test new technologies for these early CLPS flights, including Viper. The agency also has announced a new process to build an internal database of future lunar surface investigations. Through the payloads and research investigations on the surface of the Moon or PRISM, NASA is interested in investigations that maximize basic and applied science and technology demonstrations at different lunar locations, as well as individual investigation components that would be valuable at multiple locations. The agency will use the PRISM information to inform the manifests of future CLPS deliveries beginning in 2023. The agency will periodically open up PRISM requests for information to collect new ideas and investigations eligible for future CLPS flight opportunities. Meanwhile, in 2018, NASA began the acquisition process for commercially provided human landing systems, HLS, to meet the goal of sending humans back to the Moon. By harnessing new technologies and spurring competitive innovation, NASA will work with commercial partners to design and develop an HLS capable of accessing any part of the Moon and reusing sections of the system to increase affordability. The team issued a broad agency announcement, BAA, Next Step Appendix E, to U.S. industry, seeking HLS studies, risk reduction, development, and demonstration. Proposals were due March 25, 2019, one day before Vice President Pence issued a new challenge to NASA: land the first woman and next man on the Moon by 2024, 4 years earlier than originally planned. NASA moved quickly to respond to the Vice President's challenge. By May 2019, NASA had selected 11 companies across 8 states under Next Step Appendix E to conduct studies and produce system-level prototypes to reduce risk and advance human lander technologies. Appendix E immediately allowed NASA to engage with commercial industry on early designs and how to best set up a rapid development approach to meet the 2024 objectives. In response to the new accelerated charge to the Moon, the agency issued a draft solicitation, Next Step Appendix H, in July 2019, this time seeking feedback on the development and demonstration of an integrated HLS to deliver humans to the lunar surface by 2024 and for the development and demonstration of a more sustainable HLS by 2026. Following a second draft in August and after addressing more than 1,150 comments, the final Appendix H solicitation was issued in October 2019. Awards were made to 3 companies in spring 2020. Program Status Assessment. In January 2020, NASA's Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate, HEOMD, chartered a Program Status Assessment, PSA, of activities planned to achieve a human landing on the Moon by 2024. The assessment comprised teams of NASA personnel and outside aerospace experts who examined the overall early Artemis architecture, including Orion, SLS, Exploration Ground Systems, EGS, Gateway, HLS, and System Engineering and Cross-Program Integration. Members of the PSA teams examined management and integration across programs, schedule risks, technical systems engineering, integration, and test program thoroughness. Following the 6-week assessment, PSA findings indicated that the Artemis 3 approach that was baselined for the original 2028 landing timeline and therefore the schedule to meet the goal of landing the first woman and next man on the Moon by 2024 was significantly dependent on new technology maturation. Based on the findings, NASA is conducting studies with the HLS vendors to investigate where high TRL systems may improve schedule for Artemis 3. Another change resulting from the PSA findings included launching the Gateways PPE and Halo together on a single rocket. Initially, NASA was planning separate launches in 2022, PPE, and 2023, Halo, and subsequent autonomous rendezvous and docking in lunar orbit. Integrating PPE and Halo on the ground is a cost-effective approach to reducing technical risk and enhancing mission success by eliminating the need for 2 segments to dock in deep space. While in lunar orbit, this early gateway will demonstrate its unique orbit and operate science payloads in deep space.